Hello everybody, this is Charles Fort here, bringing you another issue of Username Nerd Comic Summary. In this show, we're going to be talking about Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, which was published in May 1984. It's going to be issue number 1. And since this is my first one, this is perfect for me because I love this comic series. It's a 12-book series, and it was written by Jim Shooter, penciled by Mike Seck, and inked by John Beatty. If some of you don't know, the Secret Wars is where Marvel brought its best villains and its best heroes to clash in a 12-part series. You could pretty much call this the ultimate hero and villain showdown. It starts off with our heroes being teleported into a life-supported dome in the middle of space, far away from Earth. Our heroes include the Avengers, which consists of the Wasp, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. There is also the Hulk and Spider-Man, but the Hulk and Spider-Man were not included with the Avengers, so when it was released, they were not in the Avengers. We also have the X-Men, Professor X, Storm, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, Colossus, and Lockheed the Dragon, which is apparently Kitty's pet from the X-Men. And then we have the Fantastic Four, minus Sue Storm, so we have Mr. Fantastic, the Human Torch, and the Thing. And strangely enough, Magneto is actually included with the heroes. Not many of the heroes know why. They all don't know why, actually. And Magneto's actually confused himself, since Magneto is considered a villain to the heroes. They go on to talk about how he murdered like a bus full of people. They consider him a murderer, but he doesn't consider himself a murderer because they were attacking him. He calls himself Homo Superior because he's a mutant, so he considers himself the number one race, the number one being. And then one of the heroes noticed that there's another dome just across the way, and who might it be? The villains? Our villains include the Asgardian Enchantress, Ultron, the Absorbing Man, the Wrecker and his Wrecking Crew, Thunderball, Piledriver, Bulldozer, Kang, Galactus, the Lizard, the Molecule Man, Dr. Octopus, and Dr. Doom. They pretty much portray Doom as being the main villain because he takes charge at the very beginning. As the heroes are contemplating why Magneto is paired with them, all of a sudden the stars and the galaxies just disappear out of the universe. They don't know why, but this rip in space was formed, and that's how they're just all sucked through this rip of space, and all the heroes and the villains are just dumbfounded. They cannot believe what just happened. And while they're still in shock and awe, then all of a sudden this planet is formed out of nowhere, and the heroes and villains are all dumbfounded as to how this happened. Then after this planet is formed, the villains start to pick fights with each other. Then Ultron comes in and starts monologuing about how he must kill all living beings. So since the villains are living, he has to kill them. So he starts shooting energy beams at everyone. Doom and Molecule Man are hiding from Ultron, and Doom turns to Molecule Man and asks him to destroy Ultron. But Molecule Man doesn't want to hurt Ultron because his therapist told him not to hurt anyone. So Doom asked Molecule Man to just throw Ultron into Galactus. Molecule Man agrees to throw Ultron into Galactus. Galactus barely notices, and Ultron starts firing at Galactus, saying how he's the supreme being and no one can defeat him. Galactus barely notices, lifts one finger, and zaps out all the energy out of Ultron, killing him instantly. All the other villains cannot believe what just happened and how quickly Galactus destroyed Ultron. They feel like ants at his feet. After this event, a rip in space shines a bright light towards both domes. A voice from the rip starts talking and telling both parties that if they slay their enemies, their desires shall come true. Who is this voice? Why is he telling them to do this? What does he have against the heroes, and what does he have against the villains? He calls himself the Beyonder. All of a sudden, Galactus flies up towards the rip and is telling the Beyonder that he knows he can take away Galactus's monstrous craving for the essence of living worlds. He wants the Beyonder to end his thirst. Doom follows Galactus, wanting the power of the Beyonder. He falls back because the energy is just too much. The Beyonder warns Galactus that if he gets too close, the barrier will repulse him. But Galactus didn't listen, so he gets close to the barrier and it repulses him, hurling him down to the planet where he lays unconscious. Doom also follows. Dr. Doom is also repulsed and is laying unconscious. The heroes watch everything happen and can't believe that Galactus was just swatted like a fly. Then the domes start moving toward the planet, and all of a sudden, they're instantly beamed to the surface. The villains are on the other side of the planet. Once down on the planet, the heroes start arguing about what they're going to do with Magneto. The X-Men want to keep him, and the other heroes want him gone. He decides to leave because he doesn't want mutants to spill blood over him. After Magneto leaves, the heroes elect Captain America to lead. Doom comes to and sees the structure and is sure the villains are there. Galactus is still unconscious, and he can't believe what just happened with the Beyonder. He walks into the facility and the villains are waiting for him. They tell him that he should lead their party. He goes on to tell them that they should not fight the heroes and to forget about their desires, because they have a chance to reach out to a being with the power to create and destroy universes. Plus, he didn't want to be a pawn in the Beyonder's game. But the other villains don't understand and they start mocking him. He becomes angry and destroys the structure to keep them busy. He then realizes that he needs Reed Richards' help. He then jumps into an alien ship and flies off, but Kang uses a turret to shoot the ship down. The heroes hear what happened and rush to the crash. They find Doom laying on the ground, asking to speak to Reed. Captain America offers a hand to Doom, and it enrages him. He shoots energy beams at all of them and tells them they will regret what they just did. With his last beam, he flies off to the other side of the planet. After he gets away, Iron Man picks up targets on his radar and warns the team that there are more bogeys incoming. That is the end of issue number 1.
Thank you for watching this video. This is a Marvel comic and all images are from Marvel. Please support Marvel by buying their comics. This video is to help encourage people to go out and buy comics. Thank you.
You yes, person at the other end of the screen, stop what you're doing. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and please go to our other 2 channels, Username Nerd News, Username Nerd Games, and if you haven't noticed already, stay nerdy. You yes, person at the other end of the screen, stop what you're doing. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and please go to our other 2 channels, Username Nerd News, Username Nerd Games,